Hey, thanks for dropping by to the Planners on Purpose podcast, created by Naomi Tucker, CMP. Now, this space is for the event planners to encourage and empower you so that you can fully live your life on purpose. So before we dig in, please take a moment to subscribe so you get future shows. Now, here she comes, your host, Naomi.
Well, hello, this is Naomi Tucker, your host of the Planners on Purpose podcast and strategic events consultant and coach at Planners on Purpose. How are you? I am doing well, and I hope that you're doing well and leading a life that you are wanting to lead in this world, one that's on purpose and aligned to all the things that you care about and to what you want to do. Today, I wanted to share with you 4 ways to reduce stress in the workplace because in event planning, there's always a certain amount of stress. You can't really get away from it. And many of the times, much of the stress comes from when we're getting things started for an event, maybe finding locations, securing rates, and really getting things correct and accurate with our spaces and our contracts and making sure all the elements are in place. And many of these stressors also come from the last minute changes, things that are coming into place when the meeting is about to happen. And many times it's because there's a lot that's at the top of our attendees' minds or other people that we're working with, people that weren't listening earlier and now they have questions and now they're reacting to things and you have to respond and make sure things are taken care of before the event actually happens. So there can be stress in all different areas and all of the different phases of an event. But even though there is stress and even though that stress is inevitable at times, there are ways that you can actually reduce stress for yourself in the workplace. And I wanted to share those with you today. So I had 4 tips that I wanted to share with you for you to reduce stress in the workplace. And many times stress comes because a lack of people understanding what direction things are going in. So having great vision is really important, but it doesn't do any good if people don't really know your vision. So if you do have a vision for your event, or let's say if you have stakeholders that have a vision for an event, if you don't know it, or if that vision isn't shared so that everyone that's actually working on the event knows what's happening, then it can really cause stress because then people are trying to decide and trying to figure out what it is they're working towards. People need to make sure that what they're working towards is connected to a bigger purpose, and that helps them to be able to feel a sense of calm about their work because they're contributing that to that purpose. And that purpose can be the goals and objectives of an event, right? What is the goal? What is happening at this event? What are we all working towards? And if those things are not known, then it can cause a certain amount of stress on the planner, on the stakeholders, on everyone that's actually contributing towards an event. So really understanding the vision, the goals, the objectives, the purpose of an event can really help reduce the stress. And that may sound a little rudimentary. However, I can't tell you how many times, because you can't get a clear direction from your stakeholder in how they are envisioning this event, what the event is for. It can be really tough to actually plan a great event around that because you don't have a clear vision. So knowing what that is and trying to figure that out with your stakeholder, or if you know what your vision is, communicating that to a greater team can really help everyone, again, feel connected, feel like they understand so that what they're doing is moving towards that particular goal. So that is the first thing, is have a great vision and share it. Have a good shared vision. So the next thing, and it kind of goes hand in hand with that, it's good communication. And that comes down to how well do you understand what you are doing, because many times we have stress because of us being a little bit unclear about how we should be going about our work, or what we're working towards, or perhaps it's a task we're unclear about a certain task. Do you need clarification on that? And it all comes down to good communication. So the questions are really, have you clearly communicated things that you need to others, and have things been clearly communicated to you so that you are able to work effectively? Many times when we experience some challenges in the workplace, especially as it relates to events, it's because there's expectations of others, and what we are expecting and anticipating, they're off a little bit. So we need that clarification. So when you find yourself in this position, instead of continuing to work in the ambiguous, then why don't you go ahead and ask for that clarification? That would be a really great opportunity for you to get things clarified so that when you work, you can move forward diligently because you really are sure about how you're moving forward. And on the flip side, if you're a person or an event planner or event professional that's getting a lot of questions all of the time, maybe it's about a specific something, you just recognize the level of the noise in the workplace has gone up. Maybe people are contacting you and they're all contacting you about sort of the same thing, sort of around the same thing. That can be a good indicator that perhaps either they're unclear about something that they need to get clear about, and in order for them to get clear, they need to hear it from you. It also can indicate that something has come to the surface that needs attention and needs everybody to, again, be on the same page. So therefore, it might mean you might need to have a meeting with everyone or send out some type of an announcement or communication in order to ensure that everybody is on one accord and on the same page. Because I know sometimes those things happen and they can get out of hand rather quickly. So making sure that you're able to kind of intervene, communicate clearly, send a message to your team, have a meeting to communicate and address whatever the challenge is so that everybody can feel clear about how they should move forward through that challenge. So that is what good communication can do. It definitely can help reduce the stress, especially if you can be aware and attuned that things are happening that might need some further clarification or some communication or some unification. When you know that, then definitely take the opportunity to get it or give it so that you can reduce some of your stress. The next way to reduce stress in the workplace is to take your breaks. I say it all the time. It's so important that we take breaks throughout our day. And I get it. We have a lot on our plates. We are working. We have events happening left and right. And many times we can work, and not take a break. And when you're working from home too, it actually can be worse because it is more convenient for you to just work without any kind of break, without anyone popping up at your desk and saying, hey, do you want to go for a walk or something like that? So we need to be intentional. And sometimes that might mean you building in a little reminder on your phone to tell you when you need to take a break, you putting it on your calendar to say, between 10 and 10:15, I'm taking a little bit of a break. Because if you don't, you can end up having that stress, and having that stress manifests itself in your body somehow. And you know how it feels. Your shoulders can get heavy. You can get a headache maybe because you're really, really working without a break. You can sometimes get backaches or even aches in your neck because you haven't been able to give yourself a break and stretch things out and just loosen things up. So those can be clear indicators that a break is necessary. And that may mean you walk around for 5 minutes, go outside. Maybe that just means you take your eyes off your computer and do some breathing exercises, go for a walk, perhaps go and grab lunch somewhere else, get out of the house, get out of the building, take a quick half-hour lunch, let the sunshine touch your face. There's so many ways that you can actually take a little bit of a break. You can lay down for 5 minutes. Don't lay down for too long. Lay down for 5-10 minutes, right? And just relax. Let your body relax and stretch yourself out. Shake out the stress so that you can move forward in a way that is really going to be complementary to your body. Give your body what it needs when it's giving you those symptoms that it needs a break. And lastly, create laughter. Laughter can be the cure for so many things. You can get a good laugh and for a split second not even remember what happened before or the stressful situation that you were in. So trying to create laughter, create a light environment is definitely an art, but definitely try to do that when you feel things are getting heavy, people are stressed. Try to be the person who's bringing in a little bit of a lighthearted tone to things. Be curious, tell a joke. Don't take things so seriously if you can. See something amusing in your situation, because sometimes things can be comical and stressful at the same time. Definitely embrace those moments to get a little bit of a laugh in so that you are able to move forward without as much stress. So that is it. Those are the 4 areas that you can do right now in order to create less stress and to reduce stress in the workplace. And of course, there are more, but these hopefully will be here to remind you of some of the tools that you can use in order to have a better environment for yourself, a better environment for your teams, a better environment for your stakeholders, and an environment that is a little less stressed. So until next time, please stay on purpose.
Well, that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, hit the like button and tell us how much you enjoyed the show by leaving a message in the comments. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.